everybody, welcome back to my channel. And as I promised you in my last video about all the King's Quest games, today I'm going to film another video games talk of non-King's Quest related video games. And in the last video I already told you about some of them, and of course I'm going to talk about those, but also one or two more that I just forgot last time. So the first game I would like to talk about is a game that has been suggested to me by one of you. And I really want to thank you so much. I'm going to put the name here. Thank you so much for suggesting that game to me. I will start with this game because it's my favorite of all the games I'm going to talk about today, and one of the best games I've ever played. But enough with the mystery. I'm talking about Life is Strange. This is such an awesome game. Those of you who've watched my other video game talks know that I love Telltale or Tell. I never know in which order those words are. I love games like that. Telltale or Telltale game means that you have the option of different decisions to make, and according to the decision you make, the game changes. And in this game, those changes are not just some small little changes. It really changes the game totally, and I think this is so awesome. So this is one of those games. This game is made by Don't Not Entertainment, and it comes in 5 episodes. This is one of the annoying things, in my opinion, about most of these Telltale games, like also King's Quest 2015. I put the link to this video here, just only if you are interested. The thing that annoys me is that it comes in various episodes, which is not a problem, but the thing is that it takes forever for the next episode to come out. And this is one thing I really hate. Waiting. I mean, the episodes are sometimes rather short, and usually they end in a huge cliffhanger or something, and you really want to know what will happen next. You really want to keep playing, and then you have to wait like a year or something, sometimes even longer depending on the game. So this is something that annoys me a lot. Fortunately, when I started playing that game, all 5 episodes had already been out, so I could buy the what's it called, season pass, and play all episodes in a row without any waiting. Since I am so impatient, I did not do enough research, because I have a PlayStation 3, and it turns out that this game is available for the PlayStation 3, and I bought it for the PC, which was okay, but I think on PlayStation it would have been even better. And in my opinion, this game is quite affordable. I think I paid 19.99 euros, something like that. And for an awesome game like that, this is not too expensive, in my opinion at least. So I suggest you to play this game. It's really, really worth it. But Serenity, what is this game about? Well, this game takes place in Arcadia Bay in Oregon. This is not an actual place. And the main character is Maxine Clawfield and her friend Chloe Price, who studied in some cases at Blackwell Academy. So, Maxine Clawfield has spent all her childhood in Arcadia Bay, and her best friend was Chloe Price. But when she was a teenager, she and her family moved away to a big city, which I don't remember. Maybe it was Chicago or Seattle. I think it was Seattle, but I'm not sure. Well, so Chloe and her had lost contact. But Maxine's dream is to become a photographer. And in Arcadia Bay at Blackwell Academy, a very famous photographer is a teacher. So she decides to go back to Arcadia Bay to study at the Blackwell Academy. And at the beginning, she feels very out of place. She finds it strange to be back in such a small place like Arcadia Bay. And right on her first day at school, she gets in some trouble. In the bathroom, she witnesses a boy threatening a girl with a gun, planning on shooting her. And then something happens that is very strange. A very beautiful blue butterfly appears right before the boy and the girl entered the bathroom. And since she's planning on becoming a photographer, she always has her Polaroid camera with her, and she took a photo of that beautiful butterfly. Yeah, as she's seeing the girl being threatened by the boy, and the boy being about to kill her, she looks at the photograph, and something happens that she, without even knowing how, rewinds time to the time the butterfly flew into the bathroom. And this is the way she could prevent the girl from being killed, by rewinding time. Later it turns out that that girl being threatened in the bathroom is her old best friend, Chloe Price. And they get together and are best friends again and go through a lot of stuff. I don't want to give away too much because it would be a shame to spoil such an awesome game. But this rewinding time thing becomes like the main, like a key element in this game, and it's awesome. So by looking at pictures and sometimes looking at objects, she can rewind time, which is very, very useful. But a gift like this always has a downside. There's no way to it. So the more she uses that power, the weaker she gets. She gets these nosebleeds, and sometimes she's just too weak to use her powers, and unfortunately, in the most important moments, this tends to happen. But the power she uses builds up this chaos in the universe, I guess, in form of a huge hurricane that threatens to destroy all Arcadia Bay. And in the end, she has to decide who to rescue or not. Should she keep using her power to rescue people, or just let those people come to harm, but not making this hurricane even stronger? So you, of course, make that decision. And let me tell you, there are some awesome twists in that game. And the decisions you make are so severe that at some points it really means death or life. So a person can die, and in the remainder of the game that person's dead. People grieving for that person, candles everywhere, or that person can be alive, and so you still interact with that person. You still, I don't know, have other directions the game takes because of that person being there. Really, really awesome. So the names of the 5 episodes are Chrysalis or Chrysalis, Out of Time, Chaos Theory, Dark Room, my favorite, and Polarized. Play this game. Really, you will not regret it. I cannot emphasize on how much I love this game. So far, I've played it 3 times, I think, because those of you who know me a little bit know that in these Telltale games, I have to play all the options. I play it again, making a different decision, and so on. This is why I know how important those changes are, because I've seen it with my own eyes, playing it. Awesome, really. I love this game so much. Alright, the next game I would like to talk about is in this list I have now, which is a long list, as you can see. The Dreamfall Chapters. Wow. Before I talk about these games, though, I have to tell you that in my very first video games talk, I told you guys that I did not like The Longest Journey, which is the first part of this trilogy. I guess this is because I was pretty young when I played this. I think I was maybe 14 something, and I wasn't that experienced yet with adventure games. So I think at that point of my life, this game was too weird, too far-fetched, maybe. But before playing the Dreamfall Chapters, actually I started the game, and then I realized that I had no idea what was going on, and I could not live with that. So I thought about playing The Longest Journey again. And I did. And I have to tell you that this time I really enjoyed it. It did not seem too weird anymore. I guess because I've played so many other games that are so fantasyful that I was cool with it. I think this game is kind of poetic. I know there are these two different worlds which are stark, the world of science and technology, and there's Arcadia. Funny enough, it has the same name as Arcadia Bay in Life is Strange. And this is the world of magic, and things are like totally non-technological. So they seem to be more like in the Middle Ages maybe. And then there's April Ryan, and she turns out to be what they call a shifter, someone who can shift between the two worlds, and this is something extremely rare. But she is from Stark, actually, had lived there all her life, and she is studying to become an artist. So she's living alone, has left her home place with her parents, and lives in I don't even know what it is, maybe a small motel, I think so, and she has a room there, and knows people there, and so on, and she kind of has just begun her adulthood. Yeah, and she keeps having those strange dreams involving a white dragon talking to her, and this world she's never seen before, and she cannot make any sense of it. And then as the game goes on, she meets a guy, an older guy actually, who knows that she is a shifter, and without telling her so, slowly leads her on her way to finding that out, until at one point she opens this kind of gate to shift to Arcadia. And then the adventure begins. And later on, she turns out to be extremely important to protect the balance. This is what this game is about, the balance. There has to be balance between the two worlds, Arcadia and Stark. If there is an unbalance, then the two worlds are in great danger. So she has to bring the balance back in both worlds. So in Stark and in Arcadia, she has to do many things to do that. And she has to bring people on her side, make people believe her, and yeah, really awesome in my opinion. Yeah. So, and then I thought that this was like the longest journey, and right after that is the Dreamfall Chapters. But I was wrong. I totally missed a whole game. There is a part 2 of the longest journey called Dreamfall, the longest journey. And I also played this game this time once I found out about it. And this game is very different from the longest journey. You play different characters, though April is still there, but you almost don't play her. This time you play Zoe Castillo and Kian Alvane. So you play two characters interchangingly. Zoe Castillo is from Stark and Kian Alvane from Arcadia. And Zoe, she has dropped out of university because, I don't know, she wants to find herself. She's kind of in a dark place at the moment, and she lives alone with her father because her mother supposedly died when she was very little. And they live in Sunshine Plaza, I think is the place. Very beautiful, very sunny. And she has a boyfriend whose name is Reza. But one day, and Reza is a journalist, and one day he disappears. And Zoe goes after him to find him, and it turns out that Reza has found out about some sort of conspiracy of a company named What He Call.